like to welcome everyone to Oakwood Windsor's DARE graduation. I'm Jennifer Hurt, President of Student Council. Parents, thank you for coming. Fourth graders, you have been invited so you could see what you have to look forward to next year. On stage with me this morning are Officer Nikki Blackstock, our DARE officer, Ms. Bowman, our guidance counselor, Dr. Frank Robertson, our speaker this morning, and Ms. Polly Golston, Drug Educator Coordinator for Aiken County. Would you please stand for the pledge to the flag?
Good morning. This is a special time for the students, and I'm very proud of them. I'd have to say that parents, you should be proud of them as well. They have met all requirements, done their workbooks, participated, did their essays, and they did a wonderful job, every one of them. And I also want you to know that they have also done and graduated 100%. So every one of the students that have gone through it have graduated. This morning I'd like to recognize a few people before we move on, and one particular group would be the custodians here. I don't know them all by name, but I have been so appreciative because they have done so many things in support for the DARE program. And also I'd like to recognize the ladies that work in the lunchroom as well. And they have just made some wonderful meals. You know, just by the looks of me, I think you can tell that they get some good food here. And maybe the students think otherwise, but I have just really appreciated them. And I've appreciated the staff in the office as well, and all the other teachers. And at this time, if Brandon Womack will come up, please.
Hi, my name is Brandon Remick, and I'm the Vice President of the Student Council. This morning we have Dr. Frank Robertson, Assistant Superintendent for Instruction for Aiken County, here to speak with us. Dr. Robertson, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us this morning. Dr. Robertson.
Good morning. Thank you, Brandon. A very bright young man. Don't you agree? Give Brandon a hand. Being in education, as educators, we like to give tests. So I want to give a test this morning to the 5th grade students. When I count to 3, I want you to respond to a question. What is almost always the beginning of every story? Don't say it yet. Think for a moment. When I count to 3, you will give the response. What is almost the beginning, or how does almost every story begin? 1, 2, 3.
Once upon a time.
Outstanding. Once upon a time, there was a farmer who had many animals on his farm. He had so many that he had a problem maintaining them all. He had a problem feeding them. He had a problem giving them water. So he decided that he was going to sell them, all except one. You see, the farmer had grown very old, and he had one animal on his farm that had been with him practically all of his adult life. And he decided that he did not want to part with this particular animal. So he kept this animal. The animal was a goat. He allowed the cows and the chicken and all of the other animals to be sold. So one morning the farmer got up, came outside, and noticed that the goat was missing. So he immediately concluded that the goat had gotten lonely and decided to go and visit the other animals on the other farms. So he went back into his house, and decided that he had some things that he needed to do inside and, of course, some things that he needed to do outside. So he came back out and began shoveling some dirt in a hole. Now, this hole was an old well that had run dry. Now, you're very young and you may not know what a well is, but at one time, farmers and other individuals had to go out and drop a bucket into a hole with water and pull that water up, and they would use that water on the farm, in the house, or many other different places for many other different purposes. But this well had run dry, and the farmer decided that he did not want to risk someone coming around on his farm falling into that hole. So he had a major job, a major undertaking, to fill that hole with dirt. So he worked very, very hard for 2 or 3 hours that evening. Went back into his house for the night. Now, the farmer did not realize that when he discovered the goat missing that morning, that the goat had, during the night, gotten on top of his house and had moved around to the other side of his house and slipped and had fallen into the well. So the farmer had thrown quite a bit of dirt into the well. Now, can you imagine that goat in the bottom of the well wondering what to do? And he pondered, and he pondered. And as he pondered, he got somewhat anxious and got nervous and decided to move a little bit. And as he moved, he noticed the dirt dropping from his back onto the bottom of the well. And he also noticed that as he moved, the dirt would pack under his feet, and that he would inch up a little as more dirt was being shoveled into the well and on his back, and he would shake it off and pack it under his feet. Can you do that? Can you shake the dirt off and pack it under your feet? So the farmer worked for another 2 or 3 hours and decided that he could not complete the job that evening, so he went back into the house and got a good night's sleep. He had worked very hard that day, and it was very, very easy for him to fall asleep. He got up that next morning with a great ambition, and that ambition was to get that job completed that day. So he shoveled systematically and persistently and very determined to get that work done that day. And the dirt would fall on the goat's back, and the goat would shake it off, and he would pack it under his feet. So the farmer decided that I just can't get this job done today. I'm very tired. I should go in early this evening and get a good night's sleep, and I can complete the task tomorrow. He went out the third day, and he would shovel in the dirt, and the goat would shake the dirt off, and he would pack it under his feet. And all of a sudden, the goat had packed enough dirt under his feet that he had elevated himself to the top. And the farmer saw him, and needless to say, he was very, very glad and very, very happy. Now, I want to say something to you that's somewhat personal, and I apologize for being personal. But I was a very, very poor boy growing up. I can remember sitting in my house looking outside, and there were cracks in my walls that were 2-3 inches wide. Now, I'd much rather be exposed or would like to experience those types of cracks than to be exposed to the type of crack that is now in today's society. And that one of every two of you will be exposed to, or someone will approach you and offer to have you experiment with that, free of charge, just to simply get you hooked. And I remember having to swing grass down, not with a mower that you're accustomed to now that you can put gas in and ride over the lawn, but it was with a swing blade. Many of you don't know what a swing blade is, but it's something with a blade on the end with a handle, and you would have to swing practically all day long. That was the grass that I, as a poor boy, was exposed to. But today, the grass that you're going to be approached with is grass that's called marijuana and can do damage to your mind and to your body and to your thinking. Yes, I was a very poor boy, but I had a goal in life. I had a vision. I decided that I wanted to make something of myself, and I knew exactly where I wanted to go. Even as a 10-year-old, made a decision even then that I was not going to let anything get in my way. And when I became 13 and 14 years old, I had first cousins and I had brothers and even relatives, uncles, adults offering me drugs for free. And I simply resisted that. I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't want to experiment with that. Because I had something that I wanted to become later on. I had something that I wanted to do. I valued education. And I know that education was going to help me become what I wanted to become. And that drugs and all of the other things would certainly interfere with that. So I made a decision. I made a choice. And the choice was made inwardly, on the inside, so that I can resist and repel the outside forces. And you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to shake the dirt off, and you're going to have to pack it under your feet. And as I visited your classrooms just prior to this program, I noticed students giving a lot of attention to the teachers. I noticed the students engaged in the learning process, doing exactly what you were told. I noticed some students helping other students with math problems as they were paired with another person at the blackboard. Those are individuals shaking dirt off and packing dirt under their feet because they're wanting to elevate themselves and move themselves up to a level higher so that they can be ready for greater and more challenging academic tasks. Those are individuals who can say no inwardly and resist those outside forces that are going to interfere with their ambitions and their goals. And continue to do that. When your friends want to talk with you, tell them, wait until we change classes, wait until we're in the halls, or wait until we're outside having lunch. Talk to me then. That's shaking dirt off and packing it under your feet. And parents, I commend you for being here today. I commend grandparents and sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles for being here today, celebrating this very important statement that these children have made. Society is not very children-friendly. And it's going to take all of us working together. It's going to take the schools. It's going to take the teachers in the schools. It's going to take students. It's going to take parents. It's going to take the sheriff department and all of the other community agencies to collaborate with us to make society children-friendly so that our students and children can be the best and most productive adults that they could possibly be in the very, very near future. Thank you very much. You've been an outstanding audience, and God bless you.
Victor Griffin, he is also a DARE officer that has recently come up from Florida and helped join the forces, and he has been a wonderful help as well. I don't think in fact, I know if it hadn't been for these two, I know I wouldn't have been here this morning. At this time, I'd like to tell you, fifth graders especially, a story. And being that my background is a Native American, this is a story of a boy that went to the mountain. And he went up above the snow line, and he was up there, and there was a snake. And he met that snake. And the snake was sitting there, and he says, "Please take me to the bottom of the mountain. Take me below the snow line." And the boy looked at him and says, "I can't do that because you will bite me." And the snake said, "No, I won't, I promise. If I stay here, I will die." And the boy sat there and thought about it for a while. And because the snake was so convincing, he decided to go ahead and say, "Okay, I'll take you down, but you promise not to bite me." And the snake said, "That's right." So the boy had picked the snake up, and he put him in his shirt, and he carried him down the mountain. And he took the snake out of his shirt and placed him on the ground. And at that time, as the boy was ready to leave, the snake struck and bit him. And the boy turned around and said, "But you promised not to bite me." And the snake's response to that was, you knew what I was when you picked me up. And it's just like those drugs. You know what those drugs are. You know what they can do to you. Now I'm asking you, don't be like the boy on the mountain. Yeah. Each teacher, as they call their names, if they would come up and present the class. Mr. Bailey.
Okay, Latrice Abney. Candace Bell. Joaquin Beltran. Lisa Dixon. Scotty Dorrance. Leanne Fields. Iro Figueroa. Krista Hankinson. Shannon Harding. Jay Harding. Jennifer Hurt. Tiffany Johnston. Atisha Mays. Amanda Parrott. Kyle Perry. Mandy Wren. Pamela Risch. Bernard Simmons. Deja Deja Staley. Travis Sweetnam. Lars Tolliver. Amanda Tucker. Daniel Watkins. Tara Williams.
Darrell Cupperson. Harry Durham. Lacey Evans. Bobby Goff. Ashley Gunner. Tamika Hamilton. Marcus Jenkins. Sandra Martinez. Diana Myers. Carrie Parsons. Monica Perry. Josh Paulus. Stephanie Rushton. Russell Scott. Shawanda Staley, excuse me. Anthony Stein. Craig Sweetnam. Clifton Tyler. And Daniel Wilson.
Maggie Allen. Nathaniel Armstrong. Candy Arnold. Judith Beltran. Dewey Brown. Bertina Brown. Jerome Creech. Daryl Dick. Ricky Donovan. Amy Duncan. Emily Hall. Candace Harris. Ashley Hollowell. John Price. Ryan Proctor. Brandon Remick, Casey Scott, Lavornia Staley, Robert Taylor, Bridget Weathersby, and Lynn Widener.
Introduce the winners from each particular class for the essay. And I have to say that this essay contest is a tough thing to choose from. I had well over 370 students to choose from in the 3 separate schools that I taught, and this school was just as tough as the rest of them. But I want you to know as parents that every one of them did a wonderful job, and it was the toughest thing I've ever done. But from Mr. Bailey's class, we have Hara Figueroa.
Taking a stand. I am taking a stand against drugs because I do not want to be a drug addict or a junkie when I grow up. Drugs can kill you. I do not want to even waste my time using drugs, and I hope you don't either. The reason I am taking a stand against drugs is because I don't want to die at the age of 25 or younger. I want to live until I am 90 years old. I want to live a long and happy life. I also do not want to disappoint my family, teacher, or their officer. Drugs look like they're fun, but they're not. People who take drugs have mental illness, and I don't want that for me or my family. I love to take a stand against drugs because I know that I will not be addicted to drugs when I grow up. So please, if anybody offers you a drug, just say no.
One from Ms. Singley's class, Stephanie Hillstrom, and I understand she's not here today. She said, but we have somebody else that's going to read it for her. This is Ashley Gutter.
Taking a stand. I'm taking a stand against drugs. I'm taking a stand because I do not want to ruin my life. Taking drugs is very dangerous. Just doing drugs once can hurt you for the rest of your life. Drugs don't make you cool, smarter, or healthier. They're not wanting to take drugs because it's real faster. Some people might have been curious about drugs before DARE. I think DARE makes kids realize what drugs can do to your body. Some might get into a situation that they might have to make a choice to take or refuse drugs. Some people might have chosen the wrong choice. DARE teaches kids how to say no to drugs. I am taking a stand against drugs. I'm going to do it by my own words to take a stand against drugs. The right choice for me. I am glad we did DARE in 5th grade because the pressure builds up in middle school. Make your only choice now against drugs. Nobody can make the choice but you.
Taking a stand. I'm taking a stand on drugs. I do not do drugs. I'm a healthy person. I will never do drugs. Taking a stand means I'm going to stand up for what I believe. I believe drugs are bad for your body. If you use drugs, you mess with your mind and body. My future is to stay away from people that do drugs. I plan to get involved in sports to keep my mind off of drugs. When I get 18, I plan to get a job and make money right here instead of home. Thank you.
There are places you remember, the times you may recall, faces that reflect your memory. Maybe thoughts that you've been pictured, help you come to see, but you're the one you decide what you're gonna be. So give it your best, don't you worry about what some may say. That's really all that you can do. And give it your best. And remember that life is what you choose. Go follow your dreams and do what you love to do. So give it your best. Don't you worry about what some may say. Follow your dreams. It's really all that you can do. And give it your best. And remember that life is what you choose. Go follow your dreams and do it. Follow your dreams and do it. Follow your dreams and do what you love to do. What you love to do.
We select so many as honorable mentions. And unless I looked at their program, they should know who they are until now. But I'm going to go ahead and announce them. From Mr. Bailey's class, we have Deja Staley. Come on up. Krista Hankinson. Travis Sweetnam. Jennifer Hurt. Itisha Mays. And Joaquin Beltran. Jennifer Cordell, Sandra Martinez, Monica Perry, Lacey Evans, and Daryl Culbertson. Ricky Donovan, Bertina Brown, Ashley Hollowell, and Daryl Diggs. Thank you, students.
Schools coordinator. And as I sit up here, I just feel so much pride for so many reasons, and I'd like to share some of those reasons with you. I feel very proud to be part of a school district that spends so much of its drug-free schools money, which is federal money that we get, on the DARE program. We spend a large percentage of that money on this program, and we're really proud of it. And we have one of the best DARE programs in the whole state of South Carolina. Aiken County is known as the DARE capital of the state. And so we're part of a big effort that's really important. And it started in California and has spread across the United States. And we're just really proud to be part of that. The thing that I'm the most proud of this morning is you kids. I just feel, so happy for y'all, and I know how proud you must be of yourselves sitting there in those shirts, and those shirts are given to you so that you can be really proud of them and wear them wherever you go. And people all over the United States will know that you've been through the DARE curriculum. And they're going to know that it's going to be hard to try to change your mind and hard to try to get you to do something that you don't believe in. And that's what being proud is all about. Being proud of yourself is what's going to make you able to resist the drugs that people might offer you. When you care about yourself a lot, then you'll be able to tell other people no to the things that you know are wrong. And that's why we teach y'all all these skills, so that you can have that confidence. You don't have to go around worried, oh God, what am I going to do when somebody says that to me? You know what to do. And so you're just going to have to be proud of yourself. Every time you wear that t-shirt, you can think about Officer Blackstock and everything that you've learned, and you're going to know that you can say no. The other group that I'm really proud of this morning is your parents. I know how difficult it is to be here, and your kids are proud of you for being here, and I really thank you for taking your time this morning to come. And I want to tell you, you have a big part in there because you're the ones that will tell the kids what you think about what they learned, and that really matters to them. I have 2 children myself who went through DARE, and boy, they asked me lots of questions about what I thought about what they were learning, and it's really important that y'all talk to your kids about this and let them know how you feel, and remember that you are a role model to them. What you do and what they see is going to make a major impact on what they decide about staying drug-free and how this whole message comes across to them. So thank you very much for being here. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, go ahead, Kevin. Come on. I appreciate that. Y'all are the first group that has given your parents a hand, and I think that is really great. Y'all should be so proud of your kids. I'd also like to thank the school for making it possible to have the DARE program here. The first person that I'd like to recognize with a little gift is Miss Cagle. Miss Cagle, could you come forward? We can't have this program unless the schools allow it to come in, and so it takes the work of a lot of people to do this. Ms. Cagle is one, and the person who really makes it possible for the program to be here is your guidance counselor, Ms. Bowman. So I have a little gift for her. I do have a little gift for her, but I had a nicer gift, and we're going to have to get it to you at a later date, but thank you very much for everything. The program is taught in the classrooms of the teachers, and so the teachers make it possible, and I'm really proud of the cooperation that our teachers give to the DARE officers, and so I'd like to have Ms. Stingley, Ms. McConaughey, and Mr. Bailey come forward now for a little gift. I'd also like to thank one of your volunteers who's helped make the program possible, Ms. Debbie Tyson. Is she here? We have another member of the district office team here, and that's Mr. James Gollman, and I'd like to give him a pen and thank him for being here today. Sometimes it's so hard to believe how many people it takes to make something like this come off. We also have a representative of the sheriff's office here. Right to my right, I believe, is Mr. Lieutenant Hoffman. Is he still there? I'm here. Okay. We can't do this unless our sheriff's department provides the officers and the support, and so I'd like to give him a hand and thank him for being here with us. Now, there's one more person that I know you kids are really proud of, and gosh, I'm so proud of her just for being here today. And who's that going to be? Officer Blackstock. And I have a really nice little gift for her.
You know, yesterday morning I opened this umbrella and the kid said, "Don't open it, it's bad luck." About that time I heard she had fallen down out of the lift. So I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't open it. But this is a beautiful umbrella that says DARE. And I'm really pleased to present this to you.
Come on, kids, give yourself a big pat on the back and show me how proud you are of yourself. And wear those T-shirts proudly. I'm glad to be with you. Thank you.
My name is Lieutenant Tim Hoffman, and I represent the Sheriff's Office, and there's just a couple real quick things I want to say to y'all. About a year ago, when the new sheriff's office and the new administration took over, we realized that one of the biggest epidemics ever hit not just this area, but our whole country, is a problem of drugs. Because not only does it wreck people's lives that take it, but it wrecks the people's lives of those who love you if you do take it. Your parents and your grandparents see your life go downhill, and it tears them up because they have an investment in you. On top of that, it affects crime rates because people get addicted to drugs and they start breaking into people's houses and stealing their VCRs and their TVs so they can sell that stuff to pay for their addiction. And it's a major, major problem. But I'll tell you what we realized is that we weren't solving the problem at all just by arresting people and putting them in jail. That alone doesn't solve the problem. What we had to do is combine enforcement with education. And that's what you got in the DARE curriculum. But we went a couple steps further than what we've ever done before. Up until this year, the only time that you young people would ever get introduced and indoctrinated with the DARE program is when you're in the 5th grade. Now, one of the essays that one of the girls, I think it was the girl that wasn't here and somebody read it for her, she mentioned in her essay that when she gets into middle school, she's getting into an area where she's going to be exposed more to drugs. Middle school and high school is when you get it the most. So we decided that we were going to make a major investment and get our officers trained and hire the officers we need to take the DARE program on into the 7th grade and into the 9th grade. No other sheriff's office has done that in the state. So I can tell you today that 2 years from now, when you young people get into the 7th grade, and then 2 years after that, when you get into 9th grade, guess what? You're going to get DARE again. It's going to be a more advanced program. So you might get to see Officer Blackstock again. I think that deserves a hand, right? The reason we do that, the reason your parents are here today is for one reason. Because you're loved. Our whole society in the future depends on y'all. They love you because they have you in their family. We love you because the future of this world depends on young people that are going to grow up to be adults. And we want you to grow up right. Now, there's somebody in this room today that has made an investment of her life into your lives. She's one of the best guidance counselors in the 16 elementary schools that we have here in Aiken County. And she's the one that has coordinated most of everything that's gone together. All the teamwork comes together because really of one person. And on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, I think we need to recognize her ourselves today, and I think she deserves one more real big hand, and that's Miss Sissy Bowman.
Daniel Wilson and Ricky Donovan, please come forward.
Hi, I'm Daniel Wilson and this is Ricky Donovan. We are also 5th grade student council members. Officer Blackstock, on behalf of the entire 5th grade DARE class, we'd like to thank you for being our DARE officer and present this to you.
Put your hands in the air, sing and dance, get up, but beware. Well, cuz, you might find yourself having some fun. I guarantee it by the time the song is done, so chill out, relax, and have a smile. Professor Rat has a brand new style, and it's just for you, cause you're the best of either, the north, the south, the east, the west.
I like? I like peace, and I like meat. Working hard will always be. That's time for me to do.
Mr. Goldman, parents in the audience, thank you for your never-ending support. Fifth graders, thank you for all of your hard work. And fourth graders, thank you for coming too. Fourth graders, you may be dismissed at this time.
Retirement to come back this morning and do calling for us, so we're very glad for him to be here. We also have Miss Rosie Berry, who's the principal at Schofield Middle School as a judge, and Mr. Doug McCluskey, who's the principal at South Aiken Baptist Christian School, to be a judge for us this morning. And thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to Mr. Brooks, and he will give us the rules and also let the students introduce themselves and begin the meeting.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I have retired from the school system, but since I retired from South Aiken High School, I have started working part-time at R&M Music, so I'm supposed to tell you that I'm here courtesy of R&M Music this morning. I'm going to review the rules of the spelling bee first, then I'm going to ask each of you to come to the microphone and introduce yourselves, and I'll give you a practice word so you can get used to using the microphone. The rules don't call for that, but I think it helps you to relax to have that practice word. Okay. The contest is open to any student in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th grades, provided he or she is 15 years of age or younger. Contestants must not reach their 16th birthday on or before the date of the national finals, which will be May 30 through June 4, 1994. After the pronouncer gives the contestant a word, the contestant may also pronounce the word before spelling it, after spelling it, or if he or she chooses, not at all. Let me recommend to you that you do pronounce the word before you spell it. That way, if you have misunderstood me, I can stop you and say it again so that you'll get the right word. Because if you misunderstand and spell the wrong word, it's wrong. So I recommend that you pronounce it before you spell it. The contestant may request the pronouncer to repronounce the word, define it, or use it in a sentence. When a contestant is given a homonym, and a homonym is properly defined, he or she must correctly spell the word defined. If, however, the pronouncer fails to give a definition of the homonym, then the spelling of either word shall be accepted as correct. Having started to spell a word, a contestant may stop and start over, retracing the spelling from the beginning, but in the retracing there can be no change of letters and their sequence from those first pronounced. If letters and their sequence are changed in the respelling, the speller will be disqualified. If the contestant does not begin spelling a word within a reasonable time, 20 seconds, the judges may call for the contestant to begin and disqualify the contestant if he does not begin to spell. Upon missing the spelling of a word, the contestant immediately drops out. The next word is given to the next contestant. I'm going to skip over the rules that apply to the point at which the contestants are reduced to 2. I will review those rules at that time. The judges are in complete control of the spelling bee, and their decision shall be final on all questions. Any question relating to the spelling of a word should be referred to the judges immediately. The deadline for the cat.
Cat, C-A-T.
Right. Okay, next. Okay, hat.
Hat, H-A-T.
Okay. See, these words are very hard. I'm trying to treat you. Okay, next contestant.
I can't make it out the rules of how.
Okay, rat.
Rat, R-A-T.
Okay, good. Next contestant.
My name is Jessica Carpenter from North Aiken Elementary.
Okay, bat.
Bat, B-A-T.
Okay.
My name is Stephen Carr, and I'm from St. Mary's.
Okay. Sat.
Sat, S-A-T.
Okay. Next.
My name is John Allhead from Kennedy Middle School.
Okay. Fat.
Fat, F-A-T.
Okay. Next.
My name is Carrie Hudson, and I'm from St. Mary's.
Okay. Mat.
Matt, M-A-T.
All right.
My name is Melanie Gibson, and I'm from Social Studies.
Okay. Pat.
Pat, P-A-T.
Okay.
My name is Charlie Waters, and I'm from Aiken Front School.
Okay. Tat. Tat. Tit for tat.
Tat, T-A-T.
Okay. Next.
My name is Brendan Patton, and I'm from South Aiken Baptist Christian School.
Okay. Vat. Vat. The wine was stored in a large vat.
That, V-A-T.
Okay.
My name is Austin Epstein, and I'm from Aiken High School.
Okay. Egg. Egg.
Big, V-I-G.
Okay. Now, Paul, when you pronounce the word, pause to give me time to correct you. The word was not big. That would have been wrong. It was egg. Like he had an egg for breakfast. You want to try that one?
Egg, E-G-G.
Okay. Next.
Colin Cunningham from Utah School.
Okay. Bacon. Bacon.
Bacon, B-A-C-O-N.
Okay.
My name is Ricky Dowling from Oakland Windsor Elementary.
Ham.
Ham, H-A-M.
Okay. Next.
My name is Josh McDermott from Oakwood.
Okay. Toast. Toast.
Toast, T-O-A-S-T.
Okay.
My name is Amy Castillo from Taylor.
Okay. Grits. Grits.
Grits, G-R-I-T-T-S.
Okay.
M-U-N-C-H. My name is Joshua Johnson, and I'm from Aiken Elementary.
Okay. Listen carefully now. It was lunch, not munch, but lunch. Okay. Try that.
Nobler.
Okay. Dinner. Dinner.
Dinner. D-I-N-N-E-R.
Correct. Okay.
My name is John Gustafson from Mead Hall.
Okay. Supper. Supper.
Supper. S-U-P-P-E-R.
Correct. Okay.
My name is Michelle Valencia from Millbrook.
Okay. Pizza. Pizza.
Pizza. P-I-Z-Z-A.
Okay. Next.
My name is Matthew Gregory and I'm from East Aiken Elementary.
Okay. Hamburger. Hamburger.
Hamburger. H-A-M-B-U-R-G-E-R.
All right. Next.
My name is Brendan Zarnick and I'm from East Aiken Elementary.
Okay. Fries. Would you like some fries with your hamburger?
Fries. F-R-I-E-S.
Okay.
Michelle Sharp make it out.
Okay. Tea. Would you like some tea to drink?
T-E-A.
Okay, correct.
My name is Tina Rackett from Kenny Middle.
Okay. Coffee. Coffee.
Coffee. C-O-F-F-E-E.
Okay. And last but not least,
My name is Claire Cunningham from Smithfield.
okay. Water. Water.
W-A-T-E-R.
Okay. All right, let me make a couple of suggestions now that we've gone through the practice round. Make sure you
B-U-N-G-A-L-O-E.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Okay, the correct spelling is B-U-N-G-A-L-O-W. Okay, the next word is silica. Silica.
Silica. S-I-L-I-C-A.
Correct. The next word is seedling. Seedling. Repeat it. Said repeat it. Okay, seedling. It's a nursery plant, usually a tree that has not been transplanted.
Seed. S-E-E-D-L-I-N-G. Seed.
Correct. Okay. Next word. Flight. Flight.
Flight. F-L-I-G-H-T. Flight.
Correct. Okay. Courtly. Courtly.
Could you define that, please?
It's an adjective and means marked by hybrid polish, stateliness, and ceremony.
Thank you. Courtly. C-O-U-R-T-L-Y.
Correct. Okay. Thirsty. Thirsty.
Thirsty. T-H-I-R-S-T-Y. Thirsty.
Correct. Cadence. Cadence.
Cadence. C-A-D-E-N-C-E.
Correct. Greenhouse. Greenhouse.
Greenhouse. G-R-E-N-N-H-O-U-S-E.
Okay, that's correct. Next. Salmon. Salmon.
Salmon. S-A-L-M-O-N.
Correct. Next word. Tuffet. Tuffet.
Can you repeat it?
Tuffet, it's a low seat or stew. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
Tuffet. T-U-F-F-E-T.
Okay. Burglar. Burglar.
B-U-R-G-L-A-R.
Okay. Portion. Portion.
Portion, P-O-R-T-I-O-N.
Okay. Good. Catapult. Catapult.
Catapult, C-A-T-A-P-O-L-T.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's C-A-T-A-P-U-L-T. Waffle. Waffle.
Waffle, W-A-F-F-L-E.
Okay. Correct. Pacifism. Pacifism.
Pacifism, P-A-S-I-F-I-S-I-N.
Okay, I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It's P-A-C-I-F-I-S-M. Okay. Boundary. Boundary. Roundabout. Roundabout.
Roundabout, R-O-U-N-D-A-B-O-U-T.
Okay. Ingredient. Ingredient.
Ingredient, I-N-G-R-E-D-I-E-N-T.
Correct. Endow. Endow. Definition. Okay. It's a verb meaning to furnish an institution with income. The Porter family will endow the University Library with $1 million.
Endow, I-N-G-O-W-L.
I'm sorry, it's E-N-D-O-W.